In a couple of previous videos, I covered a program called TTY Solitaire, that, as you can imagine, is solitaire for the TTY, a computer game, but an acceptable computer game, let's say. As you know, I do not advocate computer games. And then following on from that prefix, I covered another program written in Rust, as you may well remember, called TTYPER or TTYper, I don't know, really awkward to say, but whatever. And that was a typing test. I wouldn't say it's a game, but it was a typing test for your TTY in the Linux console or Linux terminal. So following on from this tradition now, let's look at another program beginning with TTY called ttysvr. Not TTY server, as you might assume it might be, but no, TTY Screensaver. Okay, so let's just start looking at this. Let's look at the screen. And this is the package on Arch Linux. It's in the main repositories. This is the GitHub page for it with some instructions. And of course it's written in Rust. What isn't now written in Rust? The memory safe language for your TTY, so you're not going to get hacked by Mr. Robot. As you can see, there's some visual demonstrations here. Looking very nice. I think you can agree, going back to the 1990s. Do you remember going into the computer stores and seeing all the Windows computers with the maze and all that kind of stuff? I do anyway. But we're not on Windows, of course. This is Linux, and this is the acceptable face of screensavers if you want one. And how great is that you can get one in the TTY? Who knew? So what do you need to do? Let's go into my Linux console. This is in the virtual machine. So to prove to you I'm in the Linux console, the TTY. There you go. So what you need to do, you need to sudo pacman-syu. I've already done that. Now, of course, if you're using, I don't know, Ubuntu, Debian, look up your instructions for this, because this is, I think it has got it on this page, so I'll put this in the description. You can install it. Yeah, you can install it Mac, Cargo, but how great is that? Arch Linux has its own package, because we're great. Anyway. And so once you've done that, once you've done your sudo pacman-syu, you want to do sudo pacman-s, and it's called ttysvr. Okay, put in your password. Remember to put it in correctly, that helps. Now I'm not going to reinstall it because I've got it installed. Now incredibly it's 57 megabytes. Incredible. Seems way too heavy for me, but I will allow it. Okay, so there's a couple of caveats to this which we will get into, but first of all, let's start using it in the base sense. There's a slight issue with, if you're using the bash shell, you need to really use ZSH if you want a screensaver to activate after a delay, like it would in the old days, but we're not fussed by that. We can still run it. Okay, so you can just put in ttysvr, and what it will do, it will pick at random one of the three variants. As you can see, there's a list of variants here: bubbles, logo, and maze. And I'm getting the bubbles at the moment, as you can see. And then I'm just going to press a key, and then, as you can see, it loads up the shell at the bottom there. I'm just going to type clear. Okay, so you can just type it like that. Here's some variants. So let's do a variant, and then we'll look at some sub-variants as well. So let's try logo. So TTY SVR, and what was it? Sorry, it was logo. And then it's DVD. Okay, so there you go, look at that. Fantastic, you can have DVD video as your screensaver, barely legible in the TTY. Now I don't know if I do set font and run it again, there you go, it's a bit clearer, because if you've got a large font it will replicate I guess, the framing of the terminal. So I've just put it to the sort of default font. Look at that. This is better than the frame buffer, right? No, it's not. Okay. Actually, I don't know what it uses to render. Maybe I should look at that at another video. Okay, and then, oh, how perfect. In the TTY, why not have the TTY? Okay, so let's clear this. I do apologise if it's a bit too small, but I'm doing it for the sake of this. So TTY SVR, and then we want logo TTY. There you go, TTY Saver. So it's not TTY Screensaver, sorry, it's TTY Saver SVR, which is a screensaver. Okay. And then we can do maze. So it's maze, and you can have a brick maze. Let's do maze, brick. There we go, look at that. Bringing back the 1990s right there. I think we're running like maybe 2 frames per second, 3 frames per second. Even better than Doom. How good is that? And then we want, let's try hedge. Okay. There you go, there's a hedge. So that's that. And right, so this is if you want to run this and you want it as a delay, here is a slight issue. So it's ZSH only. Okay, so the screensaver delay works based on a setting of a timeout, session timeout, and catching the alarm signal in a way only compatible with ZSH. If you know of a way to achieve something similar in another shell, please open an issue. Now, I think this is more Mac-centric, and which I think they use ZSH as a default shell. So obviously, Bash has been ignored here, which is outrageous. But it's what it is. So I don't know. Maybe you could set up some kind of timer. But as it is, you would run this command. So you'd run. So if you're running ZSH, you would run eval TTY. Let's make this a bit bigger. TTY SVR, and then the variant, so whatever, bubbles, let's say, and then dash init, and then delay is the seconds. So you just put, I don't know, 20 seconds, 60 seconds for a minute, for example. Make sure you put your quotations there. Okay, and then you can cancel a screensaver in your current shell session with this command here. So hope that makes sense for you lucky people running ZSH. Maybe you're in the Mac OS ecosystem, so you're probably going to be okay. And here's some requirements for the terminal. So it needs to support 24-bit color, has reasonably efficient rendering, which, well, I don't know about my my one in the virtual machine, but whatever. And you can run it in Alacrity, Kitty, WesTerm. Something about SSH over SSH, but it's not tested very well, apparently. So maybe don't run it over SSH. I don't know. You crazy system admins. So let's try it in the X environment, okay? Let's see what it's like here. So let's make this a bit bigger. TTY SVR, let's just run that. Oh, look at that. It's like high definition in the X environment. Still running about 2 frames per second, but there you go, look. You can even see the bricks. Okay, we'll run one more, I think. Let's have a look. What else? I can't possibly run the TTY in X. That's outrageous. Maybe I'll break the program. Let's try hedge. Let's have another one. Maze hedge. There you go. It's like Minecraft in the TTY running on X. No, that doesn't make sense. So there you go. Who knows? Maybe you're a system administrator in dire need of a screensaver. I don't know why, but maybe you do. Maybe you want to run it over SSH. Maybe you're in a Mac and you've got ZSH so you can run it on timer. But yeah, just thought I'd cover that. Am I going to use it? No, I'm not going to use it, but who knows, maybe it's for you. Another Rust taking over the Linux console now. That's a couple of Rust made programs with ttyper and now ttysvr. So there you go. So we will leave it there, and you know what to do with the fake YouTube. You can like, you can comment and subscribe. And I want to give special thanks, of course, to Sean and ttx80nerd, who are part of my membership, whether it's Patreon or YouTube. I'll put the information in the description. So if you want to be like Sean and ttx80nerd and on the end screen, I welcome you to join, and it'll be great to see you on there. So we will leave it there. See you in the next one.